Okay, boys and girls, today we are going to talk about race. Now, we've talked about race before, right? We have it on the side of our board over to the very left of our reading board. The letters in race each stand for something. We know that. Okay, R-A-C-E. We've talked about the R and the A lot. R means or stands for restate the question. So that's when if I asked you, what is your favorite food? You would answer by saying, my favorite food is, okay, then the next letter, A, is answer the question, okay? We've practiced that a lot too. My favorite food is pizza. Okay, but what we haven't talked about are the C and the E. So today we're going to focus on the C. Okay, we're going to be focusing on C and what it stands for. Now, if you look on our reading board, you'll see that C stands for cite evidence from the text. Now, what does that mean? Let me tell you what it means. If I were to look at the Eleanor Roosevelt biography that we've been reading, then I would see that, and I asked you a question. Let's say I asked you, who was Eleanor Roosevelt married to? Okay, now you could look here and see that right here it says she married Franklin Roosevelt. I not only answered the question, but I found the answer in the text. That is what it means to cite the evidence from the text. We are going to practice this using our Eleanor Roosevelt biography. So you will need to, when I say go, get out your Eleanor Roosevelt biography. You will also need a green, blue, and red writing utensil. So that could be a crayon, it could be a colored pencil, but you need one that is green, one that is blue, and one that is red. Ready? Go. Okay, boys and girls, you should have out your Eleanor Roosevelt biography. You should have a blue crayon, a red crayon, and a green crayon, or a colored pencil. Okay, so make sure you have those things out. Once everyone has those out, we can move on to the next activity. Boys and girls, if you heard that clicking sound in the background, that was my dog. So sorry. So get those things out. When everyone is ready, we can move on. I told you that we would be practicing citing evidence from the text. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you a question. Then we're going to not only answer the question, but we are going to find evidence in the text that tells us the answer to the question. So the first question is, who was Eleanor Roosevelt? I want you to pause the video and I want you to talk with your team members or somebody next to you about this answer. Who was Eleanor Roosevelt? Try to find it in the text. Then you may push play on the video again. Okay, so the question we're answering is, who was Eleanor Roosevelt? I'm going to pick up my green crayon, okay? Pick up your green crayon. And we're going to find the answer to this question. Who was Eleanor Roosevelt? Well, let's read the first sentence. Eleanor Roosevelt was the longest running First Lady in U.S. history. I think that answers the question, who was Eleanor Roosevelt? She was the longest running First Lady in U.S. history. So we are going to highlight or underline that sentence. Okay, so I'm going to underline it with the green crayon. All right, the answer to the question, who was Eleanor Roosevelt? She was the longest running First Lady in U.S. history. I found evidence in the text that answers the question. Let's go to the next question. Okay, the next question is, what did Eleanor Roosevelt do? So, you may need to read the entire text again, but I want you to look through the text and see if you can find the answer to what did Eleanor Roosevelt do? Then we'll come back and we will highlight the evidence together. Okay, boys and girls, for the question, what did Eleanor Roosevelt do? Here's what I found. Okay, I'm going to highlight this evidence with my blue crayon, okay? So, what did Eleanor do? There's even a heading that says, what did she do? And I'm going to underline any words that answer the question. Okay, so I see she was a supporter. I'm going to underline supporter. Okay, she was also a writer. That answers the question. A writer for a newspaper. Okay, that tells me what she did. She wrote about women's rights, child labor laws, and more support in education. Okay, you could underline that too. She wrote about women's rights, child labor laws, and more support in education. Okay, she brought many issues to the public's attention. As the longest running First Lady, she used her position to help others. So I'm going to underline help others because that's something else that she did. The question was, what did Eleanor Roosevelt do? I found the answer to that question in my text and I underlined it to show that I had found evidence of the answer in the text. The last question you are going to do on your own, and the question is, what did Eleanor Roosevelt do when her husband became sick? I want you to use your red crayon to find the answer to this question and underline it. You're going to do that on your own, and then as a class,